Hey everybody, welcome to your September 2022 General Energies Tarot reading with me, Stella Wilde, and Miss Ariel. We're going to dive into the energies for your month ahead, so stay tuned. So this reading is for all signs. It is time-stamped. The timestamps are in the description of the video and in the first pinned comment. If you find the content valuable, please do consider hitting the thumbs up button. It would really help out the channel and push the video out to more people. And if you're new to the channel, please also consider hitting that subscribe button. The cat likes that more than catnip. All right, let's get into your reading. All right, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Let's see what's going on for your September 2022. Remember to always use the energies and apply them to your life and situation. All right, let's see what we got going on. We have a Seven of Swords. We have a Two of Cups. We have a Wheel, a Six of Wands, whoops, and a Ten of Swords. Okay. All right, so this is very interesting energy going on here. Aries. I'm going to do this reading a little differently than I've done my readings in the past. The energy in the heart here, this is your heart, right? In the middle, the Wheel of Fortune. So you are probably waiting on some important message to come in. Could be something to do, since this looks like an eagle to me, could be something to do with Scorpio energy from a Scorpio, or having to do with 8th house matters. So inheritances, investments, physical, mental, emotional transformation, some sort of situation involving other people's money. Could be a big contract, a big business deal, something like that. So you're kind of waiting on news for that. Your heart is wanting to see where something's gonna go, but you're optimistic. I mean, the wheel is here. Now, this also is Jupiter energy. Jupiter is in Aries right now, but it has gone retrograde. So you may also, while you're feeling optimistic this month, you may also be kind of rethinking the direction you want to go in, right? The wheel. All right, now, I'm going to break this down week by week, okay? Now, don't worry about this Ten of Swords. And in fact, I'm going to clarify that last energy. I'm going to clarify one of these for every sign. Pull one extra card. So we're coming into the beginning of September with the Seven of Swords. I don't feel like this is anything sinister. What I feel here is that you're kind of just laying low. You're working behind the scenes. You may have something up your sleeve. Okay, you may have a plan, a project, something you're kind of working on in secret, something you're not just sharing with other people is what I am feeling. All right, so this is our energy, and it's probably some sort of mental project, or it could be a decision you're contemplating, because that ties in with this wheel here. So you could be contemplating some decision. You're not broadcasting it. You're keeping it close to your chest. But I'm not feeling any sinister intent here at all. All right. The second week of September, there may be some sort of, it's a Two of Cups here. There may be some sort of important meeting, rendezvous, deal going down, something like that. You could be meeting with a new person. This could be business or personal. This could be some sort of reunion with somebody that you care about. So the second week of September seems to be really focused in on more of your personal life, making connections. That would be, the second week of September would be a great time to go out and socialize, especially more one-on-one, not necessarily with big groups, but one-on-one, and make some new heartfelt connections. All right. Then we have the Wheel in your heart. Very nice. Third week of September, we have a Six of Wands. So we have something here that, bird in the hand, something that you have been maybe nurturing and working on for the last 6 weeks to 6 months. You could get some very good news about it. So the news that you have been kind of waiting on, that we have going on over here with this eagle coming in, seems like it may come in the third week of September for you. So, and it will be good news, and it will be news that will help you move forward. However, remember that Mercury is retrograde this month, starting September 9th, I believe. September 9th, going all the way to October 2nd. All right. So you may not be able to necessarily to move forward yet with this good news, but at least the news will come in. And I do feel it's connected because Mercury's retrograde. Whatever this news is probably connected to something from the past, right? Past connection, past situation, past project, that type of thing. But it's very good. Could also be concerning your career since it's the wands showing up. This is very good. It's very, very good. You have been patiently nurturing, sitting on your nest, nurturing a dream, and it's about to bear some good news. Now, we end the month with a 10 of swords here. Now, this can just be that there may be some sort of block going on, especially a mental block, which is interesting because we had the wheel, right? So we have two number 10s here. So again, what I am feeling very strongly here is you may not be ready to make some sort of decision that there is a mental block because of not enough information. Swords are about information also. Not enough information has become available yet. This doesn't have anything to do with this. This is different. This is something else. All right. So it's going to depend on your personal situation, what this might be for you. Let's clarify that really fast though, and see what we need to know about that 10 of swords. All right. So that last week of September, there may be some frustrations. I'm just feeling it's like a blockage. That's all. A mental block. I'm not feeling a betrayal or anything like that. You're waiting to see how something's going to pan out. And there's just some of that frustration is this ever going to change? It will. Look, we have the Fool. So you are waiting on, like I said, you are waiting for the wheel, the zero. We have the zero here, the wheel here. So you're waiting for that revolution, literal and metaphorical, right? You're waiting for the revolution, the revolving of the wheel. You just got to be patient with whatever this 10 of swords blockage, you feel stuck, stymied, whatever this is. Just be patient. It's gonna change for you. And I think it's gonna change probably by, we have a moon here, probably by your full moon, Aries, in October, which is on October 9th. You're gonna get the freedom from whatever this mental block is. All right. So, and Ariel just did her nails on my chair. Thank you, Ariel. So she's, that sense of the cat doing her nails, like that's you also with this 10 of swords energy. You're going to just be like, rah, 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 rah. Like, when is this gonna get unstuck? It will. Look at this gorgeousness here with this Fool. So the new beginning in whatever this represents for you will happen. It's always about divine timing, as we know, and the wheel will turn favorably. But I feel like that's likely to occur in October for you, October 9th at your full moon. All right, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Let's see what's going on for you in the month of September. Taurus, what is a poppin'? Let's find out. We have the Hangman, and we have the 9 of Wands. Temperance in the heart, the King of Swords, and the 6 of Cups. Okay, so I'm going to break this reading down a little differently than I've done in the past with my readings. We're going to switch it up a tiny bit. And we're going to read this as a week-by-week reading with the card in the middle, the card in your heart. So let's start there. So we have Temperance in the heart. So you're kind of waiting on a miracle. You're hopeful. You're hopeful that a situation is going to change. You're ready for something to transform in your life. Now, this is Sagittarius energy. So that is your 8th house of physical, mental, emotional transformation. This is about other people's money, inheritances, big financial deals, mortgages, all of that type of thing. It's the sex, death, and taxes house. So you are really wanting something to favorably shift probably in one of those areas or multiple areas. Your heart is ready for a positive change. This is very lovely angelic protection. This is a time to really center in your heart and, talk to your spirit guides, talk to angels. I mean, whatever you believe in, do your manifestation work, do your prayer work, okay? Because it could bear fruit for you by the end of the month. We have a beautiful 6 of Cups here. All right, so the first week in September, we have the Hangman. Great, right? So You could just be like in suspended animation. There's no news coming in. You're already maybe feeling that Mercury retrograde slowdown type energy, which we feel right before Mercury gets ready to station direct. Mercury is going to be going before he stations retrograde and also direct, but before he stations retrograde, which is on September 9th. So you could be like, well, WTF, I've been waiting on news. I need to hear some news. What's going on? All right. So you're kind of feeling a little like, like, what do I do with myself? Okay. So this is a good time, especially because the second week we have the 9 of Wands here, which suggests, some exhaustion, physical exhaustion. The first 2 weeks of September, I feel this is really about kind of pulling back, gathering in your energy, gathering the forces in, and just keeping your head down and taking care of the bare minimum of business you got to take care of, and just try to relax. Now, the second week, we have a big full moon in Pisces, and around the full moons, like, we can feel more tired. So, just be aware of that. That full moon, I'm going to do a separate video on that, of course, but that is your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams. So you could be working very hard toward some sort of dream you're trying to manifest in the second week. You could be getting some sort of news about it, about some dream you've been working toward. So that could be because we have the full moon here in this. You see that right there. So the transformation you want is on its way. But personally, I would just try to temper my expectations the first 2 weeks of September and get a little extra rest if you can. All right, then the third week of September, as we move into Libra season, you have the King of Swords here. So in the third week of September, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius person could be playing an important role in your life. There may be a lot of conversations. There may be a lot of paperwork. There may be some sort of important decision you need to mull over. You may be asking for advice, especially about some sort of really important situation in your life, like a legal matter or tax matter, something like that. You may be seeking guidance the third week. Third week, we also start getting into the Libra new moon. So around the Libra new moon could be an important decision time for you about some sort of new beginning that you want to make in your life. And the Libra new moon, I believe, is on the 24th, 25th, 26th time period, right in there. The last week of the month, we have a beautiful 6 of Cups. So there could be a lovely reunion with family members, people who are close to you, people you haven't seen in a while. It is possible for some of you, depending on your situation, you could be reconnecting with an air sign. They may reach out to you the third week of September, and then you actually meet up with that person in the fourth week of September and reconnect. 6 of Cups is a beautiful, beautiful energy of, real soulmate type energy. People who are simpatico, whose energy really is just joyful and joyous. So I would suggest, planning some sort of beautiful, meeting, date, dinner out with a good friend that you feel is like a, soulmate BFF, something like that. The fourth week of the month, that would be very good. So I feel like what's going on here is, we have Mercury retrograde this month, and there's always like a slowdown. This is a card also in the heart about patience. So I think the universe is going to probably be bringing you a lot of work also the second week of September to kind of keep you occupied and busy. And then it's going to bring you, maybe some paperwork again to keep you occupied and busy. But just remember, Mercury's retrograde. Do not make any important decisions. This may be a time to review important legal documents, paperwork, things like that. In order to make a decision, but try to make your decision after October 2nd if you can. So the universe is bringing you an opportunity to review things and then also to reconnect probably with somebody important to you, probably as a way to distract you, away from the situation that's being held up in some way. All right. The universe is bringing you some sort of beautiful, distraction, shall we say, with this temperance in the heart, to keep you, to let you know things are going to happen. Just be patient. It's, you know, we can be a lot more patient when we have something good to look forward to over here. Like, you know, it may not be the thing you're wanting to shift yet, but it's still a very pleasant distraction. All right, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what's going on for you in September 2022. Gemini. Let's see what we got. We have the Queen of Discs and the Four of Discs. Okay, discs are pentacles. We have the Two of Wands in the heart of the situation. The Seven of Discs. Wow, lots of pentacles this month. Whoops. And the Prince of Discs. Wow. Everything is a pentacle except for the card in the heart. Isn't that interesting? So there's going to be a lot of emphasis this month on your resources and possibly real estate, home life, consolidation, I feel, of resources, reevaluation of your resources. Mercury is retrograde from September 9th to October 2nd. So this is not a time to make big financial decisions. Not quite yet. Don't decide anything yet, but review. You have the Seven of Coins here. So there will be time to review your finances. And I feel like there's something here about making a budget also. Now, I'm going to break this reading down a little differently than I've done in the past. We're going to look at each one of these as energy for that particular week. But let's talk about the card in the heart first. We have the Two of Wands in your heart. So twos are about waiting. You are waiting for something significant to develop in your world, some sort of door to open, fresh start, new situation to manifest. And the Two of Wands always reminds me of Gemini. I know it's fire energy, not air energy, but the way the card is with the two wands, and it looks like the Gemini symbol in the regular Rider-Waite Tarot. So there is some sort of new goal. There's a new dream in your heart that you are nurturing for your world. You're contemplating it, but it is not the time yet. This is the time to simply, you can see the radiation of energy coming off this person, the fire here. It's like, this is the time to light the fire, right? In your heart, in your energy field, and start magnetizing what you want toward you, which also ties in with our Queen of Pentacles here. You know, she is the ace, magnetizing manifester. So, but I feel like it could take 2 more months, really. It could take till Sagittarius season with the wands showing up here for this situation, this new thing. I feel it's something brand new, that new dream, that before it fully starts magnetizing toward you with these beautiful waves, the vibration, these energy vibrations that you're sending out. So, you know, nurture that new dream in your heart this month. But on the outside of your life, you're dealing with everything that's very practical because it's all pentacles. So you're dealing with the mundanities of life, bills, home situations, making sure things are solid in your life. And since Mercury will be retrograde, really reviewing what needs to be fixed, including your finances. Now, but the fix could just be, I have to make a budget. All right. Now, Queen of Discs for the first week in September. This is about really managing your resources wisely. All right. She's the ace manifester. The pentacle has landed in her lap. She can manifest anything she desires, as you see here. There could be some sort of lucky break for you in the first week of September with the rabbit here. So there could be some good money news right before Mercury goes retrograde. So, just be alert to that. I feel like if this would probably happen when the moon's in Capricorn, which I would have to look at my calendar to tell you when that is, because the queen showing up here. The moon should be, where's the moon right now? The moon's in Sag. Okay, so this could be the 5th or the 6th of September. There could be some good money news coming in. So right after we have Labor Day in the United States on the 5th. So this could be the 6th, Tuesday the 6th for y'all. There could be some good money news, lucky money news coming in for you. But this is about managing your resources, looking at budgets, etc. Second week of September, as Mercury goes retrograde, and as we have a full moon in Pisces, we have the Four of Discs, which is about holding onto your money, saving your money, using your money and your resources wisely. Since it's the four, this does relate to home and security needs. So there could be something that Mercury's retrograde, there could be something that breaks that you need to budget for to fix in your home. That's possible. The full moon in Pisces, I'm going to do a separate video on that, but that is in your 10th house of career. So with these two energies, it is possible around the full moon in Pisces, there could be some manifestation, a lucky break or something going on with your career that stabilizes your finances in some way. So there could be news of a raise or a promotion or some other like lucky bonus, like just something out of the blue. I feel it's very possible with these energies. And also because Uranus will be sextile the full moon in Pisces. So there could be some news, and Uranus is in your 12th house of things hidden away. So there could be some sort of news that comes out of the blue at that second week that would be some sort of news about, even about your home. If you've been like looking towards selling your home or getting an appraisal on your home, there could be some good news. Your home could be worth more than you realize. So some sort of investment also could be worth more than you realize. But I feel like there's something stable and good in terms of your career that could be coming in the second week of September. Third week of September, we have the Seven of Discs. So this is a classic energy of reevaluation. What things have grown, what things have not grown. And this is a perfect time to reevaluate your financial goals when Mercury is retrograde. Great time. Let's do it. So you could you always use the energies and the timings. Use that third week to go over budgets, see where you may have to trim and consolidate and that type of thing. The fourth week, we have the Prince of Discs. So there could be some sort of money news that comes in the last week, maybe connected with something over here, possibly that we already discussed. But since he's facing away, he has his back turned to all these other energies. I feel like this is news that could even come in the very beginning of October after Mercury goes direct on October 2nd. That is possible. Page of Discs is good news, but about money usually. But this is also about finding out more information. So there could be some sort of offer that's presented, some sort of news that comes in. And again, because Mercury's still retrograde, before you say yes, say, look, I got to find out more about this. So do your homework, do your financial homework, especially that last week of September before you say yes to something. And meanwhile, nurture a new dream in your heart, Gemini. All right, Cancer, let's see what's going on for you in the month of September. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What do the Cancers need to know about their month ahead, Ariel? What do they need to know? You're going to help out with this reading? You're going to let them know? All right, let's find out. Let's find out. We have a Seven of Swords, and we have the Sun card. The Hierophant in the heart of the situation. The Ten of Discs, very nice. And the Queen of Swords. Okay, so I'm going to break this reading down a little differently than I normally do. I'm going to read these cards week by week. And the card in the middle is your card in the heart, which is the Hierophant. So that is Taurus energy. That is your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams. It's a card of lessons. It's a card of commitments, learning, teaching, so contracts. So I think in your heart, you are wanting to commit yourself to some sort of pursuing some sort of new wish, new goal, new dream. Now, maybe it's something that's already been around. That's possible. Now, Mercury's retrograde September 9th to October 2nd. So keep that in mind. This would be a good time to review your commitments. And do they really align with your hopes and wishes and dreams for yourself? It's okay to go back to something you've already been committed to and review it, revisit it, and recommit to it. But I wouldn't necessarily start some sort of new commitment in the time period I just mentioned. Okay, so really your commitments of what you want to devote your energy to are front and center in your heart this month. This is also a marriage card. So if you are married or in a significant partnership, there could be, a lot of emphasis on your partner, on the marriage. There's nothing bad here. I mean, just in terms of, a lot going on with the two of you together. You could be making plans for travel, for example, with the Sun card. You can be making plans for investing your money, 10 of Pentacles, maybe buying another property. So it could be things like that going on as well. But let's now break this down week by week. So the first week we have the 7 of Swords. Aries got this also for the first week. As I said to Aries, I don't feel like this is anything negative or bad. I feel like this is just you laying low. You could be thinking of some sort of new course of action, project, decision, but you're not sharing it with other people. You're keeping it on the down low. You're keeping it to yourself. You're just having an introspective moment. That is all. You may be coming up with some sort of new strategy vis-a-vis these new or revised, revisited commitments also. So you could be just kind of strategizing and already in the Mercury retrograde kind of energy of rethinking, and just kind of pulling back a little to figure a few things out. But I don't feel like there's anything, of concern here. The second week, we have the Sun card, which is gorgeous. And the second week of September, we have a beautiful full moon in Pisces, which is your 9th house of travel. And this is a travel energy as well. So at the full moon, we make decisions. I will be doing a separate video on that on the full moon. But, you could be making some sort of big decision to travel, to really pursue something in the bigger picture perspective of your life that's going to bring you a lot of joy with the Sun card here. You could decide to go back to school in some way as well, since we have the Hierophant in the heart, and the full moon will be in your 9th house of education. So there could be something there where you make the decision to pursue something that's your heart's desire. It's not just about going back to get a degree. You're going to do something that, really just is your passion. So that's possible for some of you. Third week, we have the 10 of Discs here. Beautiful. So the 10 of Pentacles. So there could be something going on with family finances. There could be something going on at the workplace where there's maybe some sort of bonus or more money coming in. There may be more hours. There could be something like that where you're making a little bit of extra money. There could be financial decisions regarding property, things of that nature, especially because we have this Hierophant card going on here next to it and in the heart. Your partner, there may be, if you have a partner, there may be something going on with him or her regarding, their job. So the third week of the month seems like it would be very good for manifesting a little extra money, especially anything involving your job, really, because it's the 10. So, and the 10, I always think 10th house of career. So that'd be a great time if you have your yearly review to ask for a raise. Just know that with Mercury retrograde, it may take them a little while to get back to you on that. Something like that. Last week of the month, we have the Queen of Swords. So we have a new moon in Libra, in the Libra energy, the last week. You could be really involved with Gemini, Libra, Aquarius individuals. There could be a legal decision looming for you. You could be doing lots of paperwork, lots of writing, speaking, teaching, communicating. You could be poised on the precipice of making some sort of important decision, especially regarding 4th house matters. I will do a video on the Libra new moon, but that new moon is in your 4th house of home, family, roots, what nourishes you and what feeds you. So there could be something going on there with making a decision about your home life, which wouldn't surprise me since we have a 10 of coins, which is a real estate investment card. We have the Hierophant and we also have the Sun card. So there could be something going on with that, but it is not a good time to sign on the dotted line because Mercury's retrograde. So try to wait until after October 2nd. But it seems like since we're ending with this and the new moon is at the end of the month on the 26th, that there seems like there's going to be some energy a-popping for you at that new moon in Libra. So you really want to make sure you tune in and tap into its manifestation powers. All right, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what's going on for you in the month of September. Leos, what do we need to know for the Leos? All right, let's find out. We have the Four of Discs, and we have the Eight of Wands. In the heart is the Judgment card, the Seven of Discs, and the Three of Wands. Okay. So I'm going to do this reading a little differently than I've done them before. I'm going to break this down week by week for each one of the cards. The card in the heart, of course, is just that, the card in the heart. So you have the Judgment card. So there is some sort of big decision looming for you. I mentioned this in a recent Leo video. So the 20th of the month is likely to be important for you vis-a-vis making some sort of decision. And this decision may have something to do with something that's already been underway, a past situation. Mercury's retrograde from September 9th to October 2nd. So if you're making a decision about something that's already been underway, that's okay. This should not be a decision about starting something new because Mercury's retrograde, all right? You are wanting, I feel there's something here about wanting to really free yourself and free yourself quickly with this Eight of Wands, Three of Wands going on here. And it looks like by the end of the month, you should be looking forward to October with some positive expectations, all right? So let's break this down. The first week, we have the Four of Discs. So you're likely looking at your finances the first week of September, looking at budgets, looking at your resources, what you need to hold on to, what you need to transform. We have a big butterfly here. There could be money spent in the home, toward the home, about the home, to make the home more comfortable, more livable, that type of thing. Remember, do not make big purchases after Mercury goes retrograde on September 9th. So really the first week, if you need something for your house, that would be the time to purchase it. The second week here, we have the Eight of Wands. We're building very fast toward a full moon. The second week, I will do a separate video on the full moon in Pisces. But it seems like you have your eye on a prize, maybe multiple prizes. You may have a lot of irons in the fire the second week of September, like you're rocking and rolling, you're getting things done. And you know, this is your energy. So the second week of the month should be good for you. You should be fired up. You should be raring to go. And you should be working hard toward getting a lot of things underway. Of course, because Mercury will be retrograde at that point, you're probably going to want to be working on things that were already underway and need to be finished. That would be a good way to use this energy. Not necessarily launching new things out into the world, but going back and seeing what still needs to be attended to with things that are loose ends that need to be tied up. Card in the heart, we already discussed. Third week of September, we have the Seven of Discs, the Seven of Pentacles. So this is a good time to reassess any sort of financial situation, any sort of resources you may need to finish up a certain situation, or maybe even to make that decision that's been looming, right, with the Judgment card. This may be possibly, because it's coming after the Judgment card, this may be a time of harvest. It's possible in a financial sense. You know, especially like if you're making a decision to retire and you get a retirement package, or you make a decision to take a new job or a job that was previously offered to you, or some other sort of deal or something like that. There's maybe a time of harvest, but with the Seven of Coins here, there is a sense, because it's not a 10 of coins, the outcome, the harvest may be okay, but it still may not be exactly what you wanted. There sometimes can be the flavor of a little bit of disappointment with the 7 of coins. It just depends on somebody's individual situation. So that's why there may be some reevaluation that's going on. Or you could be reevaluating your finances before, but this card comes after the decision, but it could be right around the same time, especially if you're making a decision about a financial matter. There just could be a lot going on in reevaluating your finances the 3rd week of September. The 4th week of September, we have a beautiful 3 of Wands here. We do have a new moon in Libra in your 3rd house on the 26th of September. So you are really looking toward, we have the birds of freedom here. I think you're freeing yourself from some sort of situation that is represented by the Judgment card in your heart. You are looking forward to the next 3 weeks. So the first 3 weeks of October, you're looking forward to new horizons in your life. And this is your fire energy. So you're excited, you're pumped, you are ready to create some new things in your life. All right. And I would say this news would probably come in, could be around the 3rd day of October, but we have a full moon in Aries, which is very favorable energy with yours on October 9th. So it may be coming in around that time as well. I feel like there's some very important culmination point for you at that full moon in Aries. And you're going to start feeling that vibe the last week of Libra. Not the last week of Libra season, the last week of September. You're going to start feeling that momentum coming, like, the freedom is coming, like the news to free you is coming. It's here. It's on its way. The new horizon, etc. So interesting month ahead for you, Leo. All right, Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Let's see what's going on for you for the month of September. And happy birthday, Virgos. Let's see what we got going on for you, Virgo. Yes, that's Ariel's tail. She's like this way on the desk. All right, Virgos. Let's see what we got happening. All right, we have the Princess of Cups. And we have the Tower. And in your heart, we have the Fool, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Cups, Virgo. This is exciting stuff, as evidenced by the Tower. Okie dokie. All right, so I'm going to do this reading a little differently than I've done previous readings. We're going to break this out week by week here, and then we're going to look, of course, at your card in the heart, which is the Fool. So your heart is so good. You're ready for your new birthday year, your solar return, your year ahead. You're excited about some new adventures. You're ready for a new adventure. You're ready for a fresh start, a new beginning. You're having that sense of innocence, of adventure, like when we start out on a brand new thing and we're all excited, right? So you got that beautiful energy going on for you. Also in your heart, you may be wanting to travel and explore, and whether that's literally or being an armchair traveler, learning something new, whatever it might be, you are just ready for this renaissance of freshness in your life, all right, in your heart. Now, the first week, we have the Princess of Cups, first week of September, so there could be some beautiful news coming to you from somebody close to you, because this is Pisces energy, and that is your 7th house of relationships. So thank you, Ariel. Somebody close to you is trying to grab your arm like Ariel just did and share some sort of very good news with you. They may be literally, she just did that, grabbing you by the arm and being like, hey, did you hear this? Listen to this. I got this news to share with you. It could be news about you as well, but it could just also be good news that somebody in your world who's close to you wants to share with you. So this looks to be good. It may have a little twist, a little surprise to it, as the Page of Cups often does. But the first week should be good. It should be like energy of connecting with people. There could be some artistic pursuits that you're working on. Very nice energy. All right. Our second week, we have the Tower. Now, I find this fascinating because the second week we have a full moon in Pisces, which is sextile Uranus and Taurus, and Uranus is associated with the Tower card. So there could be some very surprising, interesting, sextiles are favorable, interesting news, again, related to close relationships. Now, interesting, we have an Ace of Cups over here, Ace of Swords. There could be, there could be somebody brand new coming into your life, but Mercury's retrograde. So it's possible that they're brand new, but they have a connection to your past. All right. So it could be a connection to a past life, as an example, or maybe you knew them in passing at some point, Virgo, a long time ago or whatever, and they come back around. And I think, but it's a surprise. And there's nothing negative here. We have two aces. We have a fresh start in your heart. So even if this is somebody from your past, and again, I don't mean somebody that there was like a dramatic, terrible ending. I don't mean something like that. But it could just be somebody who you just couldn't connect with. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could also be a business situation. 7th house is also business partnerships. It could also be, a new friend coming in or something like that. But I feel like there was maybe, ships, what is that? Ships crossing in the night or something. It was like, let's work with the water metaphor, right? With Pisces. So there was something, or the energy didn't work at that time. The timing wasn't right. So that's why it's all very surprising, right? That all of a sudden now the timing is right to connect with this particular person. And of course you have to apply the energies to your life in terms of what that might be. We have an Ace of Swords. So the third week of September, it looks like there is going to be some sort of very important decision about, probably connected with our Ace of Cups, which is our fourth energy for the fourth week. So making the decision, am I going to invest my heart into some sort of new situation, whether that's to do with a new personal relationship, whether that's to do with a travel or a creative endeavor, because this is also a lot of mental energy here with the Ace of Swords. So you could be making a decision to revisit, Mercury's still retrograde, revisit a creative project, but put a new spin on it. Again, this could be making the decision to commit your heart to some sort of new / old. It's really somebody you've probably known before. So we have a fresh start mentally for you. We have a fresh start emotionally, possibly romantically. You may be starting some sort of creative project, but again, it probably has roots in the past somehow. Again, it could be an idea you had to put on the shelf, something like that. This is a card of victory as well. I think the third and fourth week, there could be some very good news that comes to you. This could be some news about a contractual matter, a legal matter, something like that. And the fourth week, there could be some good news about a heart-centered matter, about a creative project, something like that. And or good news from somebody close to you as well. But I feel like this is just a beautiful, beautiful month ahead for you. And it'll be very interesting. I'm going to do a separate video for full moon in Pisces. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. I have a feeling with this eye here above all of this is such an interesting deck. I think you're going to have probably a psychic hit, premonition, a third eye hit, right? That's what this is. So you're probably going to get that in that second week, even before it happens. You're going to have that sense of, like this is happening. And also with that, and I don't mean in a bad way, but like maybe not but oh wow. So this third eye up here, now I forgot what I was going to say, is also about when you meet this new person coming into your life that has the connection to the past. That's that psychic hit of recognition. I know you from somewhere before. And when we have that, when we meet somebody, it's usually because we have known them before. Not in this lifetime, but in some other one. All right, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what's going on for you for the month of September. And happy birthday to all the September Libras. All right, let's see. what we have going on for Libra. Libra. Ariel's thinking about it. We have the 5 of Wands. And we have the Sun card. The card in the heart is the 3 of Cups, the 10 of Swords, and the 4 of Discs. That card's been coming up quite a lot. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to do this reading a little differently than I have done it before. The card in the middle is the card in the heart. And I'm going to break this down week by week for your sign. Okay. So the card in the heart is glorious with this 3 of Cups, which is about celebration, joy, merriment, happiness, socializing, just feeling creatively on fire, feeling excited. So this should be a good month for, especially for reconnecting with your joy, is what I feel. It's a very joyous energy. And Mercury's retrograde from, I keep saying October, from September 9th to October 2nd. So this may be a great time with the 3 of Cups in your heart to reconnect with people from your past who you really enjoy spending time with. And that may, in fact, be on the cards for you for the month ahead. All right. So the first week we have a 5 of Wands here. And this card is very interesting in this deck. We have Medusa with the snakes in her hair. This to me is a spinning your wheels energy, the 5 of Wands. This is a lot like tangled up that you mentally need to work through. Granted, it's the wands here, which is more about our physical energy. But I feel like because of this card and the illustration with the snakes coming out of her head, and you are an air sign, so you are, very, mental energy. So there's something here where you just have a lot going on in your brain and you're trying to get things organized in your brain before they can get organized out in the outside world, before you can take action on them, which is why there may be a little spinning your wheels a little bit. There may also just be a lot you've got to get organized in the outside world, but before that can happen, you got to get it organized in your brain. So I hope I'm making sense with that. And with all these snakes, it's like there's things to untangle. But also, snakes are about transformation. So whatever you are working on, untangling and getting underway and figuring out in this first week, is helping you transform an important situation in your life. So that's fantastic. The 5th may be important for you. That is Labor Day here in the United States. So most of us have that day off. If there is something you really need to kind of sort through, especially in your home environment, that may be a good day to do so if you have the day off, that type of thing. All right, the second week, look at this glorious Sun card here. So happiness, joy, fulfillment. Mercury will be retrograde, but that's okay. What are you going to do? Goes retrograde 3 times every year. This is joy, celebration, happiness, love. There could be a travel, especially travel to connect with somebody whose company you truly enjoy, or socializing with travel. There could be something going on with that. This is just beautiful, creative energy. So you could be just really feeling happy the second week. We have the full moon in Pisces. That's your 6th house of work and well-being. So it could be, again, that just all is right in your world. We look at it from the well-being. At that full moon in Pisces, you could have a sense of true joy and fulfillment. All right. And just feeling like, wow, all is okay. This would be really good to just affirm with gratitude the things that are working well in your life, especially at that full moon in Pisces, and really affirming that. There could also be some beautiful healing going on for you in that second week, all right, with the Sun card, because the Sun is also about our vitality. So again, there could be something that's brought to light that you've healed something, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, whatever, but very nice energy there second week. Now, we have a 10 of Swords. Interesting. The third week. And it doesn't seem to make sense with all these other energies that are so beautiful in this reading. So what I am feeling is that, there's always something going on somewhere in life, right? That could be blocked. So there may be something in the third week that comes to light. The full moon's in the second week, but there could be something that comes right after the full moon on the 10th, actually. But more in the third week where you're feeling, I don't know what to do. So I wouldn't do anything. If you feel there's something where you feel stuck, especially mentally, 10 of Swords, and going in some sort of direction in your life, and you just don't have a clue with something, then that's okay. Don't make any hasty decisions, especially in the third week of September. Mercury's retrograde. Just know that when the time is right, and it may take a full moon cycle, it may take until the Aries full moon on October 9th and 10th for this energy to get unstuck. That's okay. So don't get yourself frustrated or your undies in a twist in the third week. Watch your mental state because it's the swords showing up. And don't let yourself get depressed like, oh, I can't figure this thing out. That's okay. All right? When the time is right, the information will come in. You will figure it out. I don't think there's anything here like bad, like betrayals or there's things going on. No, I'm not feeling that. Especially with all these other energies that are going on. I feel like this is probably something in your life you've been wanting to shift, or there's a block in some way, and it's just taking a little longer than you would like for it to shift. The Four of Discs, the Four of Coins, is our last energy for the last week of September. So you're focused on your foundation in life, your security, your finances. You're looking at how you can maximize your funds, your resources. Transformation, though, is on the table here. Like, you are really looking at budgets. You're looking at ways you can do the most with what you got. So I feel like there's a real solidifying of your finances that's coming toward the end of the month. And it probably will continue its transformation into October, especially because, Mercury's retrograde right now. So the last week of the month would be good to review your finances, review your budgets, review what you truly, needs versus wants, things like that. Implement some new strategies after October 2nd, after Mercury goes direct. All right, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what's going on for your September 2022 energies. Scorpios. Let's see what's happening. We have the 10 of Cups. Oh, and the Strength card. That's what was there on the bottom. In the heart is the 4 of Wands, the World. Oh, my goodness. And the 3 of Swords. Oh, what is that all about? Okay. Doesn't seem to make sense when we have all these other beautiful energies. So we're going to have to, oops, wrong card. We're going to have to figure that out. 10 of Cups. Okay. I'm going to have to pull a clarifier for this. All right. So I'm going to do this reading a little differently than I've done my readings before. We're going to take these week by week, and we're going to look at the card in the heart first. So you have the glorious 4 of Wands. So there could be some sort of beautiful new door opening for you. This could be some sort of marriage, okay? A commitment coming in. There could be some sort of celebration in the home. There could be, and this marriage or commitment could be somebody in the family. It doesn't necessarily have to be you. But the 4 of Wands is just a beautiful energy of celebration, of joy, of rite of passage, like new things happening that are just full of joy, really, the 4 of Wands here. This is Aries energy. This is your 6th house of work and well-being. So what this is saying to me is the celebration could be some sort of new partnership or situation coming in a work capacity. This could also be, again, some sort of joyous occasion, celebration that enhances your well-being. This is not strictly a travel card, but there could be something like maybe an overnight trip or something like that that also brings a lot of joy, especially if you go with a person who's important to you. It doesn't have to be necessarily a significant other. It could be somebody else, a good friend or whatever. But there could also be, because this is the card in the heart, there could also be the yearning for this particular type of relationship in your life. So that's another possibility. All right, so let's break this down. The first energy here is a 10 of Cups. So this is the ultimate of emotional fulfillment. Yes, we have partnership energy here, but not everybody has a significant other. But if you do, the first week of September seems like there's a reconnection. There's lots of joy. There may be, again, a travel, a trip, or talk of a trip. There is connection. There is just a beautiful sense of well-being, that all is right. Like the relationship should be good. Everything should be, should be humming along. But again, this can be, because we have the Four of Wands in the heart, this could also be the yearning for that particular situation and working on that. The 10 of Cups, ultimate in personal happiness and fulfillment. So there could be a situation that is wrapping up that brings a lot of joy to you, even if it has nothing to do with a personal relationship. 10s are often about group endeavors. So there also could be a beautiful celebration or connection with a group that you belong to, probably an artistic group, or, or the extended family, whoever you consider your family, like the extended family that you have. There could be some good news brought to that group. So this is very nice. You may decide you're going to work with somebody in a creative partnership. That's another possibility with these energies. So very, very nice. We have the second week. We have the Strength card. We have the Leo energy. We have a full moon in Pisces. We'll do a separate video on that in the second week, which is your 5th house. Leo rules the 5th house. So very interesting that this card is showing up. I feel like Mercury will be retrograde at that full moon. I feel like there's some sort of good news here about possibly your career. But again, probably connected to the past in some way, because Mercury's retrograde. Leo energy is your 10th house of career. So some sort of creative effort or creative project that you have been involved in, how you've been using your creative energy in your career, the spotlight is going to be on that with that full moon in Pisces. And how that affects your career will also be in play that second week because of this Leo energy that's showing up. So with the Strength card, you could just really see how whatever you've been working on is really strong, is really good. You could get some praise. Leo's a lot about that, right? Praise, adoration, flattery, kudos, that type of thing. You should be feeling really good about whatever you have been working on, especially in a creative capacity for your career. Like putting your creative stamp, as I like to say, on something, like your unique creative energy, no matter what you do. I mean, we do that whether you're a baker, whether you're a writer, whether, you work in marketing, you're a teacher. I mean, whatever you do, even if you're like a plumber, it doesn't matter. Everybody has their unique spin, their unique life force energy that they put into what they do, their creative energy. And everybody comes up with their own twist on things, and how whatever your twist is that you've been putting on whatever you've been doing in your career could really get some praise for you in that second week at that full moon in Pisces. All right. Then we have the third week. We have the World card here, which your energy is always associated with and is about success. So there could be a beautiful success, good news coming to you. I do feel there is the possibility of some sort of wrap up. The World for me is a very interesting card because it is the Alpha and the Omega. It is a beginning and the end. New beginnings come out of endings. So there is something likely here that may be wrapping up in your world, I think in a good way, especially if it's related to your career, because Leo energy is also in the World card. I'm feeling like it's possible that this Three of Swords after this is the postpartum depression that one can feel even after one wraps something up victoriously. It's like, well, what do I do now? It's almost like a sense of emptiness. right? Like my heart was so full before with this project, and now I'm like, now what do I do? So that's possible. I'm going to clarify this though. So I feel like there could be just kind of like a bittersweet ending, but it's opening the door to a new beginning. And by bittersweet, I don't mean the ending's necessarily bad. It's just like, oh wow, that thing is wrapping up now, you know, and now it's the next chapter. There's always that little twinge or tinge, right? So I think there could be something going on with that. All right, let's clarify this Three of Swords for the last week. I'm going to use a different deck than I did before. Of September. Let's see what we need to know about this Three of Swords. Three of Swords can sometimes be a blockage, but I'm just feeling it's more like I'm at a loss of what to do next. I don't really know, you know, especially after that world. All right, so let's see. Let's see what we need to know. It also could have something that's not anything to do with you, but something that happens to somebody in your life that causes you pain. You know, there could be something like that going on. You know, you get bad news from a friend or a family member about something going on with them and you feel bad about it. It could be something like that also. You know, you're a very empathetic sign, Scorpio. So it could be that, you know, you're feeling those energies as well. All right. Okay, so the news is going to come fast, whatever this is with the Three of Swords, this Knight of Wands. And we have a Four of Cups. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what else. And a Hierophant. I'm going to keep going. Queen of Swords. Look, the World card again. Okay, so what I feel is going on here, to clarify this, you're just going to have a temporary loss of knowing what to do next. Interesting, we have two world cards showing up in your reading. You're going to have just this temporary loss of what direction do I go in next. The direction you go in next will come very quickly to you as an inspiration and probably will come in October at the Aries full moon around the 9th or 10th. It will come out of the blue with the universe giving you the cup, giving you the idea, and born in your heart, the idea of what to do next. You're going to have a commitment to it with the Hierophant. It's going to feel right to you. The idea that comes, the Queen of Swords in Libra season. It will come in Libra season with the Queen of Swords. I'm going to use this as a time marker. And then we have the World card. So again, so there will be a new beginning that is born out of whatever may wrap up in a bittersweet fashion for you. All right. So you're coming full circle with some sort of major life lesson also with the Hierophant. That's what this is as well. There could be some sort of attachment you need to let go of, a personal attachment. But that's because you've already learned all you could learn from that particular attachment. And there will be something new coming in very quickly to reattach to, you know, recommit to. So it could be something like that with a personal relationship. In other words, whatever this void is, whatever this empty space in your heart is that happens, it will be filled quickly with something else that will start a new cycle for you. All right. So I hope I'm being clear. You feel things very deeply. You're going to probably feel something going on, a little stingy, emotionally stingy. I'm just being honest. The last week of, I got October on the brain, September. But no, it's not going to last for very long, in my opinion. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what's going on for you in the month of September. Saggies, what is happening? All right, let's find out. We have the Princess of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Card in the heart is the Moon. King of Wands, there's your energy. And the Six of Swords. Okay. So I'm going to do this reading a little differently than I have done my readings, my monthly readings in the past. I am going to look at each one of these energies as for your week ahead, your weeks ahead. The card in the heart, of course, is the card in the heart. So let's start with that. You have the Moon card in your heart. So the full moon in Pisces is going to be an important time for you. That is on the 10th of September. I will do a separate video on that energy. But there really could be something important going on with home and family and possibly your mother around that full moon. That time period may be especially tender for you, as full moons often are. However, we have Uranus sextiling that full moon. It's favorable alignment. And that is... Uranus is in Taurus, which is your 6th house of work and well-being. So there could be some interesting sort of revelation, surprise revelation about your work life. There could be something going on with your well-being, your mother's well-being, something that comes out of the woodwork, something like that. Depending on when you're born in Sagittarius season, if you're born around the middle of the sign, that full moon is going to be squaring your sun. So there could be some pressure put on you at that full moon. It's possible, especially with this card in the heart. There just could be a lot of mixed emotions. There could be a little emotional overwhelm. There could be like you're kind of feeling like you're finding your way through the dark a little bit. And let me reframe that. There may need to be things to look at emotionally that you've been keeping hidden from yourself. All right. So that's what I mean in the dark, like kind of like going in the dark, because this full moon light needs to really shine on some emotional stuff that you've been hiding from yourself, probably. So that's what I mean. There could be a little pressure that comes at that full moon, where there is probably going to be something brought to light that you're going to have to kind of emotionally deal with, because that full moon will be in your 4th house of deep emotions, right? Home, family roots, what nourishes you and what feeds you. So there could be some interesting things happening for you around that full moon. Just pace yourself. We have the 7 of Wands. I'll get to that. That's in the full moon week. But let's start with the first week of September with the Princess of Swords. So there could be a lot of focus on communications. There could be dealing with a younger person who has strong Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy in their chart. There could be dealing with just a lot of paperwork, a lot of social media. You may be spending a lot of time on social media, maybe as a distraction away from some stuff that's going on for you. You could be having some sort of important conversation about, I feel like something to do with your work is what I am feeling. But I would not make any sort of hasty decisions yet, because Mercury goes retrograde on September 9th until October 2nd. So you may be doing a lot of gathering of information as well in the first week, but you're not quite ready to make any decisions yet, because there could still be a lot of emotional confusion and doubt going on. So that's possible also. So, just kind of take the information that you are getting in the first week of September with a little bit of a grain of salt and patience. I wouldn't act on anything yet, the information that you're seeking or that's coming into you. Also, I'm saying that because Mercury currently is opposite Jupiter in the sky. So there's a lot of hype and spin out there in terms of people, just kind of playing things up or exaggerating. They mean well, but your ruling planet's involved there. Mercury opposite Jupiter, your ruling planet. So there just could be people making promises that they can't keep. It could be you making promises you can't keep either. So don't be doing that. Just be very careful with your communications in the first week, especially, and don't make big promises. And if somebody's making a big promise to you, just take it with a big grain of salt. Second week, with that full moon, you have the 7 of Wands here. Doesn't this look like a Sagittarius energy? So you may need to defend yourself, especially perhaps with some sort of energy of somebody trying to get in your business. it could be you could also be dealing with somebody who is like this. The moon, this may not necessarily even be your energy, but in your heart, you're having to deal with somebody who's emotionally confused, who's always casting doubt on you or them or whatever. Somebody who can't make up their mind, somebody who's very moody. They're in one day, out the next day, up, down, this way, that way. And it's starting to affect your emotional balance as well. So there could be something here where you got to put up very strong boundaries, Sag, at that full moon, especially with your mother, I'm just going to say, because of the moon energy here, for your own well-being. Uranus in that 6th house, your own well-being. This could also be somebody at work too, right? It's amazing. I said this in a client reading the other day. Like, it's amazing how often we replicate our family of origin issues in the workplace. We end up working, with bosses and colleagues who are like the same energies that we had to deal with growing up, right? So it could even be something like that, like a boss that reminds you of some of the less than favorable ways your mother would act, or somebody very moody. So you may have to put up these boundaries. And with Uranus in that 7th house, there could be, in that 6th house, Uranus sextiling that full moon, you could be like, okay, wow, surprisingly, they're backing off, right? So it could be something like that, where you're going to have to assert yourself a little bit. You got this. Look, they're not penetrating the boundary. You got your shields up. Shields are up, especially with this type of energy that may be coming at you. This moody, up, down, makes a promise and then reneges on it type energy. All right, 3rd week of September, we have the King of Wands. That is your energy. So you should be feeling better by the 3rd week. You should have come out the other side of this craziness that's going on. And you're fired up, you're ready, and you can take care of yourself, in other words, rather than this moon energy. Yeah, especially if it's something to do with your mother or some other strong, female influence. You can take care of yourself. You may be dealing also with another fire sign, an Aries or a Leo. But it looks like things start turning a corner for you the 3rd week, where your own self-interest, taking care of you, can go on the front burner. And then the last week of the month, interesting, we have a 6 of Swords. So there is a moving on mentally from a situation. Now, interesting in this deck, look how the birds are carrying her away. So it is mental energy. So it could just be that you're wishing that these birds would kind of lift you and get you out of there, out of some sort of challenging situation. So you may not be taking action necessarily on it just yet, but you're making the decision that you're not going to continue with this particular situation, problem, moodiness, whatever this is representing for you. And that's good. That's good. But remember, Mercury's retrograde until October 2nd. So it is likely by the time we get to the Aries full moon, the 9th, 10th of October, that this situation will actually unfold in the material world, in the actual taking action, Aries, right? Because right now it may just be the mental, I gotta, be free. I gotta get out of this. And that's okay. That's okay, because you don't want to be taking an action like that during Mercury retrograde, and then Mercury goes direct and you're like, oh, wait a minute, and you go back to the bad thing. So that's fine. We all have to, you have to make the decision, right? If we have to have that clear intention and make that decision before you take the action, usually. I mean, I know sometimes you can be a little impulsive. Most fire signs can be. But I think it's important that you're like kind of thinking through and reviewing the ramifications of leaving behind some sort of situation. You really want to think it through, is what I am feeling before you take that action. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what's going on for you in the month of September. Capricorns, let's find out what is happening for the Cappies. All right. What do we got? We have an 8 of Swords. Looks like a big octopus, doesn't it? Okay. 8 of Swords and the High Priestess. The The strength is in the heart. The King of Wands. And the Eight of Discs. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do this reading a little differently than I have done my readings before. We are going to break this out week by week. And of course, the card in the middle is the card in your heart. So let's start with that. Capricorn, you got Leo in your heart. So there could be a Leo who's in your heart this month. There could be issues about your physical body in terms of feeling really good, working on your physical body, shoring up your physical body, strengthening your physical body. Leo is your 8th house of transformation, physical, mental, emotional, financial. It is the house of sex, death, and taxes, intimacy, the occult. You know, it's a deep house, as we like to say. So all of those very deep matters of life could be what's in your heart this month. But your heart is good. This is beautiful. Your heart is strong. You're feeling like you can conquer whatever is coming your way. And I don't see anything bad here in these cards, but you're feeling like you really also want to transform your heart in some way. So pursue some sort of dream, indulge in your creative life, indulge in intimacy. That is also the Strength card. It is about physical intimacy. So that could be something that's preoccupying your heart, connecting with somebody on that level. Whether you're having that now in your life or you're wanting that, whatever, but that could be front and center in your life in the month ahead, very possible. But you got the heart of the lion this month. Nobody can pull the wool over your eyes. You're feeling strong. You're feeling good. You're feeling optimistic, brave, courageous, full of vim and vigor, excellent energy in your heart. Now, let's break it down week by week. We have the Eight of Swords to start off with. So the first week of September, you could just be feeling mentally kind of, what do I do? All right. There could be a decision that's looming for you. You're just not seeing perhaps a particular solution yet. And the thing here is, it's interesting because I said this looks like an octopus, right? With all these tentacles attached to all these different things. I would look at your attachments, your mental, because it's swords, your mental attachments to a particular outcome or a particular way you think something has to go. I feel like there's just like you're attached to some different ideas, some ideas that maybe are no good for you in terms of the success you want to create in your world. There's something here where I'm just getting this feeling of attachment. It also could be that you're attached to too many different things mentally and you got to prune and choose and focus rather than trying to hold on to all these different things you're trying to do mentally. So you could be just really preoccupied with a lot of different things the first week. Something's got to give, something's got to go, but you're not seeing what that is yet, or you're unwilling to see it. You're unwilling to let it go. So depends. Now, the second week of September, we have the High Priestess. We have a full moon in Pisces, which is your 3rd house of communications. And the High Priestess is such an intuitive energy, right? It's like, I feel you're going to get, I'm going to do a separate video on the full moon in Pisces, but I think you're going to get some sort of amazing psychic download, psychic communication at that Pisces full moon on September 9th, 10th, 11th time period. So be really attuned to your dream life, the dream world, your intuitive hits, what they're telling you. Also, the second week, it's probably time to really kind of pull back and tune in with your inner self, your inner wise guide, especially to shift whatever this situation is. She can be a lot about being cloistered away. So you may also need a little private time to sift through these. I feel like you're going to just get this huge rush of intuitive energy that's just going to kind of be like this big wave. And so it could be a little overwhelming. So you may need a little time to just kind of, whoa, I got to sift through all of this. So take some private time for yourself that second week of September. Third week of September, we have the King of Wands. So And notice at the 4th week, we have the 8 of coins. So the first half of September, I feel for you, Capricorn, is very internally focused, mentally, emotionally, intuitively. Like you're just, I feel like you're kind of just rearranging. Like I said, some attachments you're going to let go of mentally. Like you're rearranging things, but you're doing it in a way that perhaps is a little different for you because you're doing it more intuitively than necessarily logically. Like you're not making a checklist. That's very Capricorn. You're not making a checklist and trying to figure out with that 8 of swords what has to go. You know, you're gonna like realize this is an internal process you've got to sift through. So it's gonna, like, the first 2 weeks very internal. The last 2 weeks of September, all external. You got the King of Wands. You're moving, you're grooving, you're shaking, you're doing. Aries, Leo, Sag could be very important to you, especially with, we have our Leo in the heart. So this could be some new person coming in, possible, or just feeling really fired up about your personal creative pursuits. Whatever your heart's desire is, you could be taking lots of action on that in the 3rd week of September with the King of Wands here. And you're feeling confident about it. That's the thing. Whereas before, in the first 2 weeks, you're still figuring it out. This is very decisive. King of Wands. In fact, it's beyond decisive. It's like, we already decided. We're now taking action. Like you're going for it. So this is gorgeous. 3rd week, fired up, pumped up, making things happen. Just be mindful, Mercury's still retrograde. So it might be best to work on things and make them happen that have already been in process. 8 of coins at the end, or Virgo energy here. You know, you got your head down. This person, you can't even see their face. You got your head down. You're doing your thing. You're building something. You're working on a big project. It's the 9th house, Virgo energy for you. So there could be the emphasis on media, the internet, travel, communications, writing, publishing, academia, and the big picture perspective of your life. Like you are really boldly, I think, working on making some sort of major transformation, some sort of like work in progress. Like you're like, I don't want this to be a work in progress anymore. Like this has got to like be done, dusted, underway. Like I want to get this off the ground once you figure out, you know what that is over here. But the passion's strong. The passion for whatever this is going on here is very strong. 2nd half of the month. And I would even say this energy is going to carry over to our full moon in Aries on October 9th and 10th, where you may indeed get some sort of affirmation from the universe that this tree is going to blossom for you. Whatever you've been working on, there is going to be something that is going to come to fruition for you, because Aries is also a very passionate energy. And it's also about being a leader. This is about maybe doing something where you're very much in charge of the situation, putting your personal stamp on it, especially if we're talking about the Aries energy and even the Leo energy. It's really about your individual self-expression. And I feel like there's something innovative as well that's going on here with this energy. Like you're breaking new ground. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But the new ground, like where it's going to go next, isn't going to be seen until the Aries full moon, October 9th, 10th. It's like you're shoring up the roots of whatever this was already. You're really like focusing in on it. You get what I'm saying? So that it can get off the ground, like I was saying before. So very positive energy here, Capricorn. Always work with the energies, as I like to say. All right, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what's going on for your, I almost said October. I got October on the brain. I think it's because I'm drinking pumpkin spice coffee. For your September. I don't know. And I'm thinking, I got October. I'm thinking pumpkins. I'm thinking Halloween. I don't know what's going on with me today. All right, Aquarius, this is for September. Let's see what we got going on for you. We have the 8 of Cups. We have the World. Isn't this interesting? The Queen of Cups in the heart of the situation. Justice. And the King of Swords. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. All right, so Aquarius, I'm doing this reading slightly differently than I've done them before. Let's see, Justice. I think the King of Swords was last, right? Okay. I believe that's how it went. Yes. Okay. I'm going to break down each one of these cards as the weeks of the month, and then we're going to look at the card in the heart, which is the card in the middle. Okay. So the card in the middle is your Queen of Cups energy, the card in the heart. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, person energy could be important to you, Aquarius, in the month ahead. This is a month where your emotions are going to be taking center stage. All right. So there could be some sort of important emotional connection, emotional decision, emotional investment, either yay, nay, that you may or may not be making or backing out from, depending on your situation. That could be going on. Your intuition, as I said, is going to be in high gear, your creative energy. It's important to stay in the flow of energy and allow yourself to just kind of ride the waves of whatever is going on for you and not have to make too many decisions about it, but just feel the feelings, all right? Because Mercury's retrograde September 9th through October 2nd. So you don't want to make any sort of big decisions because your feelings could change, right? That's what I'm saying. Ride the wave of whatever's going on. Okay. All right. So let's start off here. Let me get everything reorganized back to the way it was. So the first week of September, we have the 8 of Cups here. And interesting that after that is the World card, right? So we have two energies here, the first 2 weeks of September, speaking to wrapping something up, right? So emotionally, the first week, could even be the first 8 days, you are ready to move on to some sort of new vista. This looks like Jupiter to me, right? So you're ready for a new opportunity. That's what Jupiter represents. Jupiter represents opportunities, good luck, lessons, etc. Things to learn, travel, etc. and so on. So you are ready to start emotionally, 8 of Cups. You're ready to start emotionally moving toward some sort of new opportunity. You may not know what that is yet, though, is what I am feeling. It's just the yearning. You're yearning for something new in your life because you've really had it with some sort of connection in your life, some sort of situation. Jupiter here is in Aries. He has just gone retrograde. So, and he'll be retrograde until... He's going to retrograde back into Pisces. He goes direct in Pisces on the day of the new moon in Sagittarius, which is around the 23rd, 24th of November. So you might not know where you're headed, where you're going. You know you emotionally got to do it, but you may not see what that Jupiterian opportunity will be until then. It's very possible. But that's okay. I think the important thing here, as this card suggests, is that you get the feet. That was good English. You get your feet on a new path and show the universe, I am ready to move on, so that the universe can open up the way for you and bring in the new thing. The World, the second week of September. Again, a card of endings and beginnings, though. Something that's coming full circle. So we have the full moon in Pisces, which is your second house of money. The full moon's taking place there the second week. I will do a separate full moon in Pisces video. So there could be some sort of important, it could be a success. The World is a good success card. There could be something successful involving finances happening at the full moon in Pisces. There could be some reward for work well done. But the world of your finances is likely to be in focus. And also you could be having some sort of important news, success, especially something connected to the past because Mercury's retrograde that could, really rock your world. So there could be some good news, but alternatively, there also could be something that may be good news, but also kind of wraps up a financial situation. So you could be wrapping up a debt and obligation. You could be ending a job. I mean, that's possible so that you can have a better job, the world, that pays you more money. That's possible also. It just depends on your personal situation. Third week, we have the Justice card. So the third week of September, and then we have more Libra over here with the King of Swords. So we have strong, and we are in Libra season by the third week. So, and that is your ninth house of the big picture perspective of your life. So you, with the Justice card, may be kind of weighing and balancing, which is very Libra, trying to make a decision. Libra is also about perfection. So you could be really seeking the ideal. You could be really wanting this third week, like, what would be my ideal situation with whatever this thing is that I want to move toward, right? Because you may not know exactly what that is. So what would that look like in an ideal world? What would be the perfect thing for me? What perfect opportunity would I want to have? So you may be really kind of weighing and balancing and trying to figure that out for yourself in the third week. There may be matters, legal matters going on. There may be decisions to make involving a Libra. That's possible. Decisions about academia, decisions about publishing, decisions about travel, education, international business, contracts, things of that nature. So there may be things like that going on. But again, Mercury's retrograde. So take in the information, weigh and balance all information in the third week, but try not to sign on the dotted line or make important decisions. Just gather the intel, because again, your emotional situation may change by the time Mercury gets out of retrograde as well. So that's what I'm saying. Try not to make any decisions yet, but gather the information and weigh and sift through it. That's very Libra. Then we have more Libra. We also have Gemini and Aquarius, your energy, right? The fourth week. So this is really, since this is your energy also, it's really about taking care of yourself, especially in the fourth week, like really putting your own priorities front and center. Maybe, again, I feel like there is some sort of decision that's coming for you, that's looming. Sifting through the information, analyzing it, maybe a pro and con list, something like that. But you may also be dealing with somebody who is, not you, but somebody in your world who is rather, stubborn is not the right word, but rather, is dogmatic the word I want? I'm going to say they're doubting. That's more the word. That's more the feeling I'm getting. You may be dealing with somebody who's a little skeptical, who's a little doubting about whatever this is that you're thinking of doing next. But don't let them influence you, okay? Because they're coming at it from a real mental perspective. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you're coming at it from both emotional and mental. You have both things combined here, Aquarius. And this person's only looking at it from, I feel like, a one-sided view, this other person in your world. They're not looking at it both, mentally and emotionally, whatever this change is that's going to happen for you. But I feel it's more important this last week that you're really focusing in on your own goals, that you kind of, interesting how he has his sword positioned, that, you're ready to protect your most sensitive parts of your life, shall we say. I'm just look at the card. Okay, that you're ready to protect yourself against somebody who may be, trying to, what's the word? You know what I'm trying to say here. That may be, trying to get in your business. All right. You know what I'm saying here, Aquarius. Okay. So I feel like there's a sense to be ready, I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but to mentally be prepared and be willing to defend yourself verbally as well, especially if somebody's trying to get in your business. That's the only way I can put it. Okay. Like trying to, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So you got this. I think there is something that is going to be a major decision. It could be a major contract or legal thing, but it's likely to come to fruition at that Aries full moon, October 9th and 10th. So just gather the information now. All right, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what's going on for you in the month of September. Pisces, what is happening for the Pisceans? You got your big full moon happening on September 10th. And it's sextile Uranus, so that is good. All right, let's see. I will do a separate video on that full moon. Oh, we have the Tower. And we have the Devil. Oh, this is interesting. We have the King of Swords in your heart. We have the Moon. And we have the King of Discs. Wow. Pisces, very interesting energies here. Okay. So I'm going to do this reading a little differently than I have done in the past. We're going to look at each one of these as representing the weeks in the month, and then the middle card is the card in your heart. So the card in your heart is the King of Swords. I was just speaking about him in the Aquarius reading. And I got kind of off on a tangent, but you can see the way he's holding his sword there. He's protecting a very delicate area. So in your heart, you may feel that you may need to protect a delicate area of your life, shall we say. Work with the metaphor. Verbally, you may need to verbally be on guard, put somebody in their place verbally, something like that. Alternatively, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius people could be playing an important role in your life in the month ahead. You could be, thinking about them. Now, it's interesting. We have two kings. And we have the moon in between. So we have the King of Pentacles over here. So depending on what's going on for you, there also could be somebody who's still in your heart, but somebody else new who comes in. And with the moon in between, you could kind of be undecided between two people. That's possible. You could also be undecided between, do I make the decision from a more logical perspective, which is the King of Swords, or do I make the decision from a more monetary perspective? Okay. Or based on what would be better for my self-esteem, because I read Pentacles as self-esteem. Maybe what would be better for my money life because money isn't always ruled by logic either. So you could be torn between, mental considerations, legal considerations, and, or you could be torn between this person wants you to do one thing and this person wants you to do a different thing and you don't know, or it could be romantic. So whatever's going on here. But let's break this down week by week. There's probably some important decision looming for you. Even if this doesn't represent a person, you're feeling, I think your heart is trying to be logical, which, anybody's heart can be logical, of course. But for a Pisces, that is often a stretch, because it just is. As the most sensitive water sign in the zodiac, yeah, sure, you can make a logical decision. Absolutely. And you may have been driven to that point as well. You may have been driven. When a Pisces is done with something or someone, it's like they don't go back emotionally. They can be cold as a fish, right? Think of that expression. They can be a cold fish. They can be very logical, analytical, cutthroat, like take the sword and cut the tie. Absolutely. So it could be that you reach that point as well with something, all right, going on in your life. That's possible. All right. So let's break this down. The first week we have the Tower. So there could be some sort of very surprising news coming in the first 7 days of the month. Interesting that after that we have the Devil. So it's possible it relates to a Capricorn. Doesn't have to be, but it also could be that the surprising news comes to help free yourself the second week, which is when we have your full moon, to help free yourself from a situation that was no good for you, that was toxic. And maybe that's why we have this energy in your heart, because you're like, wow, once you realize this, because the Tower can be some sort of, mind-blowing revelation. when you get the mind-blowing revelation that the person you thought you were dealing with is not the person you were dealing with, whether love, money, business, whatever, that really is going to help free you. So, you know, the full moon in your sign is going to really shine this light on what's no good for you. And full moons can be about, you know, a clean sweep, letting something go. So something's ready to, I think, shift big time in your life. But it may have a little bit of a shock to it. However, Uranus, as I said, is sextile your full moon, which is a favorable thing. So even if it feels a little unfavorable when it happens, it's actually going to be the best thing for you. It's going to help shift you into something that's a lot more solid, with the King of Coins showing up here. Okay, so all's well that ends well, but it could be a little, I'm a very honest reader, I'll tell you. I mean, it's a general reading, but it may be a little bumpy the first 2 weeks, because we got, and we have 3 major arcanas out of 5 cards. So this is likely to be a significant month for you. But I'm feeling, what I'm really getting from this is that somebody isn't who you thought they were. And some sort of side is going to come out of them that you're going to be like, what? Like, no. So that's what I'm feeling, especially with these first 2 weeks, which is why then we have this in the heart, where you got to like take a logical step back and be like, whoa, I don't want any part of that. And you know, with the moon card in the 3rd week, this is kind of like, I think you're still dealing with the aftermath of that situation, of your full moon revelation, even in the 3rd week of September. And you may be sorting through a lot of emotional energy about it. There is likely, I think there's going to be some sort of secret that comes to light about somebody or something you've been dealing with. But you're going to free yourself from it. King of Swords, you'll be decisive and save yourself and get yourself out of that. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be a joyride, but, and you may have a lot of mixed feelings about it, the moon, but you're going to do it. You're going to be very practical about it also. And you could be dealing absolutely with a Capricorn. That's very possible. Or some other Taurus or Capricorn. Taurus or Virgo. That's possible. But I feel by the end of the month, you are solidly, it's a King of Coins here, you are solidly on solid ground, right? You have dealt with the situation, your feet are on the ground, and you are in the process of regrouping, and you're going to be manifesting some sort of new opportunity for yourself very quickly, I feel, after this situation gets dealt with, okay? So, depending on what this is for you, you're just going to be manifesting something that is more real, more solid, more stable, more down to earth, just better all around for you, and something that actually can grow. See all these beautiful plants here. So something that can lead you in the right direction, and something you can count on and invest. Know that when you invest your time and energy into it, it will bear fruit. It will grow. Okay. So, this other situation, you know, when we're dealing with this is not energy of growth, the Devil card. So, you know, but you're going to see that, like I said, all's well that ends well. But you could definitely be, if you're in a love situation, I feel it is likely that there is some sort of revelation about somebody you're involved with. It is possible that you're not going to like. A side of their personality comes out, and, you know, you probably make the hard decision to cut it free. Again, if you're in that type of situation, I feel this is more like if you've been dating somebody. It's not necessarily a committed partnership, but if you've been dating, but, you know, before many moons pass, I mean, rather quickly, you're going to see some other opportunity come in for you. I mean, Pisces usually has somebody waiting in the wings, actually. So, you know, you're usually spoiled for choice, Pisces. So it's an interesting month. Just really try to, I just feel like there's something too about protecting your heart a little bit with that King of Swords. Again, whether it's in a love situation, a money situation, whatever that Tower and Devil card represents for you, right? It's just going to depend on your personal situation. But I love the King of Pentacles at the end because you're going to land on your feet. So thank you so much for joining me for your September General Energies Tarot reading. I love you guys. I hope you have a great month. Take care. I will see you again soon. Stella Wilde signing out.